in the NFL playmaker.
Now, and when I look at this, I'm looking at, for this sake here, Mahomes and Herbert. And in that, I would still, even though I love what I see in Justin Herbert, but the dude is playing some great football, I'm still taking Patrick Mahomes. And I'm taking him in this sense when I talk about this now. I'm talking about the most physically gifted, talented quarterback we have in the National Football League right now. You removing him from his team. I'm taking Patrick Mahomes over everybody. If you tell me, pick one quarterback you're going to start a franchise with right now, we don't know what system he's running. We don't know what team he's going to be with. It's going to be Patrick Mahomes. The best quarterback in the National Football League, most physically gifted right now, is Patrick Mahomes. Best, no doubt, over Justin Herbert. Even though now, that's not saying I love what I'm seeing with Justin Herbert. He's playing MVP-type quarterbacking right now for the Chargers. But you tell me one quarterback, I'm taking Patrick Mahomes.
Me personally, it will always be Aaron Rodgers. I never brought into the hype that Patrick Mahomes did things that we've never seen Aaron Rodgers do. I believe Aaron Rodgers to be, as a talent, not as a resume, but as a talent, the most gifted quarterback we've ever seen in NFL history. Now, Patrick Mahomes obviously has come on board and has shown us stuff that puts him right there. And if you want to say even keel or whatever, based on what we saw the previous 2 seasons, so be it. But I'm an Aaron Rodgers guy. That's number one. Number two, right now, I think it needs to be said, I don't even have Patrick Mahomes as the best quarterback in the AFC. And that could change. It can change back to normalcy. But when you take into account the Super Bowl and when you take into account what we've seen these 5 games over the season, when you take into account some of the uncharacteristic turnovers, what we're doing is saying that what Patrick Mahomes did over the previous 2 years was so Herculean, so sensational, okay, that this is an aberration, and I'm good with that. But I'm saying that we're looking at this season right now in terms of who's having a better year. I got news for you. I'm of the mindset that right now, Justin Herbert looks better.
Yeah.
Josh Allen looks better. Josh Allen and Justin Herbert both look better. Let me get to Justin Herbert.
Better year.
The brothers got 13 touchdowns on the season.
Right.
At least 5 of them have come in the fourth quarter when they were down and needed a touchdown. This brother isn't just an elite performer. He's also clutch. He can also run with it.
I don't know. I'm not talking team.
I said Justin.
I'm talking about quarterback.
No,
I want you to pull him out.
No, I said
pull
Justin. I said Justin Herbert.
Herbert over Mahomes.
I think he can make all the requisite throws. He can run with the football as well, and he shows up in the clutch in terms of his passing ability. That's what I look for from a quarterback position, and I think he delivers that. Okay, he's about 6'6", 6'7". He can see over the offensive line and then over the line of scrimmage. This is the thing that bothers me. Every time I say a positive word about Justin Herbert, it breaks my heart because Brian Flores and Chris Gray in Miami passed on him to Tua Tagovailoa.
I got to let that go.
And
Everybody has to let that go.
I can't. You know why we can't let it go? Because nobody else is going to. If Justin Herbert continues to look this way and Tua don't come back and show us something, it's going to stain their resume forever. And I don't want that.
Yeah, but listen. And you're right about how Justin Herbert's playing right now. You're right about how the Chargers playing. But I'm talking about if you said you're going to start a franchise right now, are you taking Justin Herbert over Patrick Mahomes?
No, but the only hold on, Mike. That's not fair. Because the only reason I would say no is because Justin Herbert just started and Patrick Mahomes got a 2-year head start.
Yeah, but just a 2-year head start.
But I'm just saying 2 years. So what I'm saying is,
it's not like he's running away.
Wait a minute. What if Justin Herbert takes these Chargers to the Super Bowl? What are we going to say? The point is, I don't have the time. You're right. I don't have the length of a resume to defer to Justin Herbert over Patrick Mahomes. But when I look at his ability, I don't see anything that Justin Herbert can't do.
Right.
I don't see that.
But will he and can he when that time comes? And we have seen Patrick Mahomes do it over and over again to the point where nobody has ever done it the way he has done it. He has the most pass and rush TDs over the first 50 games, which is 135. You know the next closest guy to him is Dan Marino with 118. If playing the quarterback position produces touchdowns, nobody has produced more and produced them better than Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, you did.
So I'm talking about
you're giving facts, but you're not giving proper context. First of all, they weren't running the football that much. You got Tyreek Hill. You got Travis Kelce. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, two future Hall of Famers. Two future Hall of Famers.
Right.
We just learning about how gifted Mike Williams is. Keenan Allen has been that dude. By the way, no disrespect to Anthony Lynn. I wish him nothing but the best. But that's who was coaching you the previous years before Brandon Staley took over and unleashed and reminded everybody of a Sean McVay type coach.
Right.
Okay, this is what's happening with Justin Herbert this year. And last year with Anthony Lynn as coach, with them blowing one lead after another because the defense couldn't stop anybody. Justin Herbert had 31 touchdowns as a rookie.
Listen.
10 interceptions.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bad boy. A bad boy. But I'm talking about Patrick Mahomes, still the best quarterback. Justin Herbert is on his way.
Okay.
He's on his way. Patrick Mahomes jumped in young.
Look at the resume.
It's not like he has. It's not like he's 10 years older than Patrick. It's not like he's 10 years older than
Kyler
Justin
Murray's got the
He's
best
a young
QBR
guy
in the
too.
league.
I'm
Just
deferring
saying.
to the
And they're
resume.
5-0.
I'm just saying.
Good day. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into First Take on a Monday. I hope you had a fabulous weekend. We are still in LA. My guy,
Love
the
that.
Hall of Famer, the playmaker, Michael Irvin. Top of the
What's up,
morning
my brother?
to you, sir.
Hey, top of the morning to both of you guys, man. I'm so jealous you got to go to that fight,
brother.
man. I don't know what to
He
do.
was so salty. He had the London game 2:30. You want me to call Charlie Uke or Quinzel and tell him to let you off?
Let me tell you the deal. Molly, fight number 2 between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. You and I were at that fight.
Yes.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
Y'all missed something special.
It was another
we'll get
level,
into that
right?
later on. It was another level.
I
I'm
know.
going to say this to you. You got the Thriller in Manila, maybe a couple other fights.
Yeah.
It was one of the greatest fights I've ever seen, and it is the greatest fight I ever attended in my career, which now spans more than a quarter century. I have never been in attendance for a fight that epic. It
Tyson's
It's cool.
fights and all
It's
of
cool.
that.
Way to rub it in.
I'm just telling y'all. I'm just looking out for
I like
y'all.
this suit, by the
what
way.
those
This is
Tyson's
fine. I
fights
like that
were
whole
about? Man, are you joking?
It was bigger than that. It was bigger than that. I'm talking about the actual fight itself.
Oh, my God.
It was bigger than that.
Oh,
It was
I'm
bigger
having
than that.
serious
this
FOMO right now. But I did
I know,
see
I
all the
missed it.
football
We got the
games.
football
We were there
games.
for that,
We
so
had some
let's
great
do it.
football.
Okay, so if you didn't stay up through the hour-plus weather's delay, we got you. A potential AFC Championship preview Sunday night. Buffalo put the smackdown on the two-time defending AFC champs, an impressive 38-20 win at Arrowhead. Josh Allen outplayed Patrick Mahomes, who had 2 interceptions and a forced fumble. KC is reevaluated.
I mean, you kind of have to just take it on the chin. I mean, you got to get better. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what we got to do. Still got a long season left, but it's definitely this is one you're going to remember. And so that's a good football team. Don't get me wrong, but we don't lose football games like that, especially at home.
It's a simple game. Cover your guy, make the tackle inside out. And when you don't do those things, it's embarrassing. It looks bad.
I love me some honey badger. Savage. Michael, I'll start with you. Do you still think the Chiefs can get to the Super Bowl?
The Chiefs have a quarterback. We all know him. Named Patrick Mahomes. He's the greatest gift God has given us right now in the National Football League. And yes, even watching Patrick Mahomes right there talk through the problems, and he's being the right guy. He's putting it on himself. He says, I have to take care of the football. I have to take care of the football. They do have to take care of the football. They turned the ball over 12 giveaways over his last 6 games. So they do have to take care of the ball. But if you look deeper into it and don't just read the stats, you'll see that even the interceptions aren't his fault. You know, he's doing the right thing by taking it on. But the ball went right through Tyreek Hill's hand.
Yep.
Took it back for a pick 6. And the other interception by my boy from the University of Miami, Russo, it was just a great play. He batted down the ball, his own self, and then took it and went back. When you get through the regular season, you get to the playoffs. There's a certain thing called playoff pressure. This man is tested. He is tested. We're watching other teams beat him right now, but those guys aren't playoff tested like he is. As long as they have him, even with that defense that they are playing with, that seems like they are taking over what the Cowboys had last year, and I call that Oprah Winfrey defense. You, everybody get what you want, yards, touchdowns. Even with that defense, the Kansas City Chiefs can still get to a Super Bowl as long as they have Patrick Mahomes. Now, they got to change their way of going about moving that ball because people not giving up the big plays. You got to come on down and start breaking it down. But as long as they got him, you better believe they
here's a couple of things. Number one, at least have the decency on a Monday morning to wait a few minutes before you get on my damn nerves with that drivel spewing out of your mouth. That is nonsense. You are lying to the American public. The Kansas City Chiefs are done. Let me say it right now.
Whoa,
You're saying they're done.
Week 5 isn't even complete.
They're going to the postseason, sure, because of that dude, Patrick Mahomes. Their defense is trash. They can't stop a cold. Let's just call it what it is, okay? They're awful. They're the worst defense in the league in points allowed, second worst in yards allowed, second worst against the run. Don't get me started with what they are against the pass. They are an atrocity. And oh, by the way, Steve Spagnuolo, I thought this was a defensive coordinator that was a Super Bowl champion. Wasn't he the defensive coordinator for the New York Giants in 2007 when they won the Super Bowl, when they beat Tom Brady and the New England Patriots? Suddenly, he can't coach defense? I mean, my God, they're awful. They're awful. Now, we like Honey Badger, so we don't want to hold him too responsible because we know that brother can play. Don't get me started with Sorensen. He got smoked. Don't get me started with Snead. He got smoked. Oh, by the way, when you look at, some dude, Dawson Knox, is that his name? This dude Knox for the Buffalo Bills, he had a big-time game, okay? Stephon Diggs didn't even get off that much. Didn't have to. This defense is horrible. And so what happens is what you're seeing from the Kansas City Chiefs is a quarterback in Patrick Mahomes that's trying to be the hero. And he's more than capable of it. Trying to play hero ball because he knows we can't stop anybody. He ain't going to say that. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to say that. He's not going to come out there and say, you know what, yo, man, we can't stop a cold, can't stop the flu, can't stop the... especially in the age of the Rona, we can't even stop a cold. That's how bad the Kansas City Chiefs are. They are awful defensively. And because of that, there are a plethora of teams within the AFC alone that is better than them because they are more well-balanced, more complete teams. Certainly they have to stop turning over the ball. We understand that. But predictably, listen, we've seen them in playoff games, AFC championship games, be held to a deficit, and then they come on strong. The problem is their defense somehow, some way has gotten worse.
You take setups so easily. Really? You take them so easily.
Do I?
And you see how you jump right on what the defense is. And I'm telling you, you're right. The defense is horrible. But defenses can click and turn quickly. Can click and turn quickly. I sat right on stage. We were in New York when I told you how the Cowboys defense would turn. You were like, oh, you laughed. You laughed. You said no way a defense.
That was last season.
But still.
That was last season you said that. Was I right last season?
Okay.
Was I right last season?
But I'm saying
was I right last season? Answer my question.
Defensive football is about desire, it's about want to, it's about assignment. It's about assignment. Now, what I'm about to tell you, there are ways that Patrick Mahomes, as great as he is, and I know he's trying to do too much, throwing the ball all over the field, can help that defense. And that is if he starts matriculating the ball a little bit. They're looking for all big plays. All big plays. That's what they look for all the time because they have been hooked on the drug of the big play all the time. In the National Football League, you're going to have to win the Super Bowl using your left hand. They're going to make you do what you don't do great.
And what is that for the Chiefs?
And they need to start moving the ball down the field slowly.
And he can do that.
Yes, they do. Yes, he does. And he can do this.
What you standing up for?
And he can do this. He can do this. And see, because we get caught up. And everybody wanting to see the big thing. And instead of moving that ball down the field, I'm just telling you. I'm telling you, that's what he needs. And they could get it done. This team, I'm telling you.
But Stephen A., to that point, 11 turnovers, the Chiefs, that's tied for the most in the NFL with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Sure.
So clearly,
but that's him trying too much. That's him trying.
Too many mistakes with the big plays.
I'm very disappointed with your question, Molly.
Why?
Because you haven't caught the hypocrisy of this man. You're so busy focusing. You're so busy focusing on trying to question me. You haven't caught his hypocrisy.
No, I'm just supporting
Let me tell you what his hypocrisy is. Let me tell you what his hypocrisy is.
Oh, let me see where you're going with this. Let me see.
I already know.
We are sitting across from a 3-time Super Bowl champion, right? How did the Cowboys win those Super Bowls?
Big plays.
No, we moved the ball now.
You moved the ball.
We ran the ball.
You ran the ball. Right. Last year, against these Buffalo Bills, the Buffalo dared them to run the football. What did they do? They ran it. Last night, they ran it about 12, 13 times.
Right.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire had the ball 7 times. Okay, so you're trying to fling the football.
Right.
You didn't engage in ball control, moving the chains, exercise patience. You know why? The Buffalo Bills sat on the field last night daring you to run the football. What they did was say, it's not about winning. We want to win our way, as opposed to winning the way that was made available to them.
When you get behind, you can't do that.
Time out. You got to understand. Wait a minute. You down 14 points. We've seen Patrick Mahomes race a 14-point deficit in 3 minutes. He got 14
but
points.
I'm
It was the first
pounding
quarter.
the rock, Emmett Smith style. You got to do that from the jump. Then they got behind.
They don't have that ability to consistently run the ball like that.
Patrick Mahomes,
But
they can get away with
use the short
anything.
passing game like a run game.
Wait a minute.
That's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying to you, because the fear of Patrick Mahomes is so real, they were daring you to run the damn football. That's why you can run the football for Kansas City. That's why any running back can come there and look relatively decent because you're worried about Patrick Mahomes, which you know.
And you have to understand that Andy Reid, the mad genius that he is, and this Michael Jordan dude he has at quarterback, he's not going to say, I'm taking it out of his hands to put it in the running back hands.
I'm not sure he's Michael Jordan anymore.
What you mean you're not sure he's Michael Jordan anymore?
Get
out of here.
We
You
will
can't pull
revisit the
that back.
subjects, but we had another big one, and it came down to the wire at SoFi. Justin Herbert and the Chargers showing they can rally in these big games. Herbert had his record 11 300-yard game, 398 yards passing, and tied a career high with 4 touchdowns as the Chargers rallied for a 47-42 victory over the Cleveland Browns. This game saw 1 tie and 8 lead changes, 4 in the final 15 minutes when the teams combined for 41 points. On the other side, Baker Mayfield, his 10th 300-yard passing game. Here he is.
Obviously, that's why we lost. So you didn't make enough plays to win the game, and that goes for everybody on our team. So we didn't do that. Like I said, we left too many points on the board in the first half. I don't think it would have been the same outcome with needing a touchdown to tie the ball game up late in the game if we had done that early on. So I'm not going to be happy about it. We didn't win the damn game. So that's truly all that matters to me. You know, I'm going to be hard on myself regardless, and I didn't do enough today to win the game.
Okay, let me take you behind the curtain. So while we're playing that sound, Michael's just nodding his head. This is good. This is good. This is good.
Yeah, I love it.
I don't know if it's good. I don't know if this man can get it done in the fourth quarter. I don't know. Can the Browns win with Baker Mayfield?
Now, what we get caught up in is trying to make everybody win a certain way. The way this team is set up, running the football, playing great defense, and asking Baker to make a few plays here, make a few plays there, and Baker can make those plays. Say what you will about yesterday. That was a great game. Baker still had 300 yards throwing the ball, 2 TDs. He had 122 passer rating. So don't come in here saying that. Why y'all looking at me like this here?
Because I'm waiting to hear what was good.
How can you not believe this team? That defense yesterday gave up 40.
Killer Tom Brady.
Right.
Does this guy have that? Because that's what it's going to be
I
down
trust
the
the
stretch.
team that he has around him and the way they play football. You're not asking him to be Patrick Mahomes. So to ask me, do I trust him on a level? I trust Patrick Mahomes would be an invalid question because the answer would have to be absolutely no. But do I trust him within the system of how they play football? Like Nick Chubb rushing for 161 yards. Absolutely, I do within that framework because I'm asking him not to take over the game, but make sure you just don't make the bad play to hurt the game.
I love this one of the promos when they showed you was dancing while I was doing my A-list in the Big D. When I showed up to visit you were dancing because you dancing now. You dancing now. That's what you do.
I'm giving you the truth. I'm giving you the real.
No. You ain't giving me the real. Here's the real. Hold on. Here's the real. You ain't winning no title with no Baker Mayfield. It's too many roadblocks. Now, we understand. Wait a minute. Nick Chubb is a stud. That brother's something special. All right. And Kareem Hunt, they're a dynamic duo in the backfield. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough that their
Roadblock.
defense is not as bad as it looked yesterday, giving
They
up
give up 16 points a game. Yesterday they gave up 47.
I totally understand. It's an aberration, which is why we're going to have a discussion about Justin Herbert a little bit later on in this show, because that's a brother that's worthy of being talked about. Having said all of that, here's the reality of the situation. You have a 14-point lead. You can stop the bleeding. Baker Mayfield wasn't able to do that. You could talk about his numbers in terms of his 300 yards, but ultimately you had a cushion against the Chargers that you wasn't able to hold on to. And when I look at it from that perspective, I'm thinking about when it was time for Stefanski to rely on somebody, He sat up there and, excuse me, listen, even in the last possession, all you needed, you had to go down there, you had to get, what are you doing spending so much time, like 50 seconds or so, just to get 10 yards? You just look at some of the decisions that are being made, some of the decisions that Baker Mayfield made. He's good. He's talented. But when you look at Justin Herbert, you saw somebody that's just on another level. You see, when you look at the Cleveland Browns, Browns, it's because of Myles Garrett and that crew on defense, and because of what they got going on in the backfield that makes you say they're going to be just fine. Baker Mayfield ain't the reason, and I'll tell you what the most glaring thing is, which is once again what you missed. How in God's name do you target Odell Beckham Jr. 3 times? Two catches. Odell Beckham Jr. Now, Njoku had a big game. He had a 71-yard touchdown.
And you're proving my point, but you're telling me all the great things that are happening. You threw it out there, but you never brought to the jury the roadblocks you're talking about. I heard you say, let me tell you about the roadblocks, but I never heard about it.
Can I take 10 seconds?
Okay, give me the roadblocks.
Here's the deal. Baker Mayfield, when you think about the Cleveland Browns, you think about everything but the quarterback. Anytime that's the case, it ain't going to give you a Super Bowl, bro. It ain't going to give it to you.
But it has.
It's not going to happen.
It has with the Ravens. When they did it with Trent, you can do that. You can win.
It's very rare. I'm just saying it's not going to happen with Cleveland.
It's very rare. That's why
the AFC wasn't what it was back then. The AFC
and there is
now
no
isn't what it was then back then.
That defense, that defense, that's one of the top-ranked defense. If they play like they play, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, oh my God, these are beasts, dog. These are beasts.
Okay.
Now, what I've always said with Cleveland is, they're going to need Odell Beckham Jr. because Odell Beckham is the big play. He's the spark. You're going to need that to match up with those teams. Now we'll talk about the Chargers, but the teams like the Chiefs and Dave Njoku, he gave it to him yesterday. And I'm telling you what you just said. Odell ain't even jumped in this thing yet. Okay. When Odell jumped in this thing, Cleveland will hit another level. That's why I'm saying.
You can't say that when there's always been a question about Odell and Baker Mayfield in terms of their cohesiveness together. That's always been a question mark.
But
and you know that.
But that's when they were trying to find the identity for the offense. Now the identity is set for the offense. Odell has to play his role in this offense, and that'll give them something special.
You know you're wrong.
No, I'm telling you.
Okay.
You can't expect Baker to be Patrick Mahomes, but he has enough to get his team there.
Baker has 44 total QBR, 25th amongst quarterbacks. And when I asked that question, I didn't mean he has to be Patrick Mahomes. I just meant when the game's on the line, can you count on him? Does he have that clutch thing? I shouldn't have invoked Patrick Mahomes.
And what makes him have at least the thought of that clutch thing is that he's willing to take the shot. Okay. I know dudes that ain't willing to take the shot. Okay. He's willing to take the shot. And he has the players to help him make
Stephen A.
Brave.
Stephen A. Yes.
Well, it takes that. It takes that. You got to be willing to take the shot. He's willing to make the throw.
Who's the team to beat in the AFC right now?
Man.
It's a toss between the Chargers and the Bills.
Anybody ask you about a toss?
I'm going to go with the Bills.
Anybody ask you about a toss thing? All right, come on now. All right. I don't know why you say that.
Say it with your chest out.
Right.
No, let's do this over. Let's do this over. No. Time out. Do it over.
Right.
Okay, excuse me. Stephen A.
The Buffalo Bills.
I didn't even ask. Okay, the Buffalo Bills. Why? Tell me why and say it with your chest out.
I think, honestly, they're the most well-balanced team in the AFC at this particular moment in time. We've got questions about Baltimore's passing game. You saw me having questions about Cleveland's quarterback. Of course, I don't give a damn what the Pittsburgh Steelers did yesterday. I'm happy they won a game, but we all know they've got some huge question marks. Mm-hmm. We look at the rest of the AFC. It's not what we thought it was going to be. It's Buffalo's division, and then there's everybody else. And when you look at the AFC West, the Raiders have come crashing down to reality like I told y'all they would do.
That's the only wrong I have.
The Chargers defense is suspect. I don't care what anybody says. Okay, and so when I look at the AFC, I'm just of the mindset that their balance combined with the acquisition of Emmanuel Sanders, stretching their vertical game. When I look at their secondary on the defensive side of the ball, led by Micah Hyde, I'm just viewing Buffalo as a team that is the more well-balanced team in the AFC at this particular moment in time. That's where I'm at with it.
I like that Buffalo is expanding because last year it was all about Stephon Diggs. And now you're seeing he's finding other people and making plays. But balance, Buffalo doesn't have a run game. Buffalo's using the quarterback basically to run the football, and he did a great job.
He did a great job?
Great job yesterday, and he has been doing a great job, rush for a lot of touchdowns. But boy, I'm going to tell you something, Justin Herbert and them Chargers, man, oh my God.
Yeah.
To see what they look like right now, Stephen A., it's scary. It is absolutely scary to see the way that young man is playing football right there. I mean, he's just doing for another 398 yards yesterday. Dropped another 4 TDs on your belt. There you go, right there. Got him a rush TD, so he's a great athlete. He can move around. But the key to what the Chargers are doing right now is Mike Williams. You want to talk about balance? This is the balanced team. This is the balanced team. Mike Williams is playing out of his mind now. And I must admit, when I talked to Chargers here, I was wrong because I thought no way should they change offenses. No way should they put this kid in another. And he has shown I was absolutely wrong. He has picked up this new system and opened up Mike Williams. He has 165 yards yesterday. Now, you knew Keenan Allen was a bad boy. You always knew that. But we've been waiting on Mike Williams to step up and show up and play up like he's been doing this year right here. And now the Chargers right now with that defense. You know what they got on the front end on the defensive boast. You know what they get their back end on James. They right now, I say, top of the team in the AFC right now. And I don't even mention who they already beat.
Okay.
You know they already beat. They beat them Raiders, that the only people I was wrong about on this team.
No, we'll get to you how wrong you were.
I was just wrong about one thing.
On the show.
On one thing, on the Raiders.
You certainly ain't batting 1,000. Let's leave it at that.
That was wrong.
Now, here's the deal. Here's the deal, Michael Irvin. Did you know that the Buffalo Bills have the number 1 offense in the NFL?
Yes.
Did you know that they have the number 1 defense in the NFL?
Yes.
Yes. So they're number 1 in both
balanced in this
offense. And they're number 1 in both offense and defense. Okay. All right. I'm looking at them right now. They're top 2 against the pass. They're top 3 against the rush. They're the only team in the NFL with 2 shutouts on the season, albeit against Miami and Houston. Right. Nevertheless, there's 2 shutouts, not even a field goal. All I'm trying to say to you is this. When you look at that and you look at that level of balance, and then you look at how they smacked around Kansas City last night, because that's exactly what the hell that they did. All I'm saying to you is this. I'm looking at the Chargers, and I get what you're saying because I love me some Herbert. Mike Williams, a bad boy. Keenan Allen, we ain't got to talk about him. Eckler is not somebody that we can't ignore either.
That's the man. That's the man.
But on too many occasions, we've seen people moving the football and them not necessarily being able to make stops from time to time. I'm saying we ain't seen that from Buffalo. And as a result of that, I'm paying attention to the impact this defense has had. And by the way, when you talk about their rushing game, I will remind you that Devin Singletary does average more than 5 yards per carry. This is a man, this is not somebody that can't run the football. They just haven't had too much because their defense is making plays. Emmanuel Sanders has stretched their vertical game. We all know what Stephon Diggs brings to the table. Cole Beasley is not somebody to ignore. You should appreciate him. He's a former Cowboy. He made a name for himself being a Cowboy. Right. You didn't bring that up, did you?
And they beat the Chiefs, so we're talking about it. But they also lost to the Steelers.
At the beginning. You told me it was over today. You told me it was over today. You said it was over today.
It was over today, but still on their record.
I'm just saying.
And we are to bring that. When you take it to the jury, I got.
Dak Prescott downplayed the near 1-year anniversary of getting injured against the New York Giants after the Cowboys capitalized on a banged-up Giants team 44-20. Prescott off to a slow start, including a pick on the first drive and a botched snap on the third that kept the Giants in the game early. But once he threw that bomb to CeeDee Lamb, it turned around. Yes, absolutely. And they were really playing the Giants' second team. They were without 7 of their 11 offensive starters. Michael, I'm going to come to you on this one. Are the Cowboys the best team in the NFL right now?
Right now, I look around, I see the teams, and I think first about the teams that were in the Super Bowl. Those teams were in the Super Bowl, Tampa Bay, Kansas City. We just talked about Kansas City Chiefs, see what Tampa is right now. All the other teams are working. Right now,
It's been about 30
the
seconds.
Dallas Cowboys are the best team in the NFL. They're playing the best football in the National Football League. Stephen A., just the discussion before, you threw out balance. That's the first word. You base your whole discussion and your argument on balance. There is no team in the National Football League right now more balanced than the Dallas Cowboys. And now you took balance offensively and defensively. Balance comes on offense, balance comes on defense. Dallas has them on both. Dallas can beat you with the run game and Ezekiel Elliott in the pass.
Can we pull up a full screen that I have for Michael?
Yeah, absolutely.
Please pull up this full screen for Michael. This is a Giants fan right here. I just want to say one thing. I get that your Cowboys are good. Let's get this really quick. Are you seeing the injuries? 7 of their 11 offensive starters. Maybe this is a little aggressive, like in terms of the win. It was their second team out there.
Yes. Listen, unfortunately, those guys, a lot of guys got hurt, and we hope they all get well and get back on the football field. The reality is, this is not the only game that we're making these decisions off of. We have a handful of games, and we're putting them all together. And when you're trying to measure as a team move through a season, you're trying to see what things they added each week. And Dallas is now adding a consistency to their balanced attack. I can't worry about who's on the football field. I got to do what I have to do on the football field, and they're adding a consistency. I would usually worry about a game like the Giants were yesterday, because the Giants have given Dallas some issues in Dallas. And I was worried. And I knew it was the 1-year anniversary, if you want to call it that, or the 1 year from the date the injury, of course. I knew that. And I was like, man, I hope they can rise to this occasion. And they did. I know y'all gonna bring up the injuries, but they did. They put this game out of reach. We can talk about how they did it. They've done every game they've had this year. They made great progress, is what I'm saying, and that's why I say right now you got to say the Cowboys are the best team right now. And we take your argument of balance in the National Football League.
First of all, don't take my argument, make your own.
Yeehaw, them Cowboys. Yeehaw.
That's all right. Listen, I'm not going to front and act like what I'm not seeing is impressive. I'm not going to front like that. But you know what? Here's the one argument that all of you nauseating, disgusting Cowboy lovers out there have missed thus far. The number one component you have in your favor is luck. That's the number one.
Oh, my God.
Let me explain.
Oh, my God.
Let me explain. Stay with me.
Anyone can say that about you.
That's right. Exactly. All right, whatever. Here's the deal. You got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You open the night, right?
Yeah.
They beat you. Okay, that's fine. Then you go up against the Chargers. Dak didn't have his best game. Keenan Allen fell in the end zone. All right. Plus, you fumbled once in the end zone. So you had 14 points you just gave away right there. Okay, so you got that game. Then you had the Eagles, which is damn near a bye week. Okay, you got Carolina that didn't have Christian McCaffrey. And then yesterday, what do we see? We see all of these injuries come. First of all, Daniel Jones, even though that was his fault, that's not Dallas's fault. That was his fault. He shouldn't have ran like that. He got concussed. Saquon Barkley, conveniently, one of your Cowboys stuck their foot out there. This brother twisted his ankle.
Kenny Galladay. There's also 3 offensive linemen. There's way more names that should be on that full screen.
He can't even show up. All I'm saying to you is this. I told you weeks ago, after about week 9 or 10, y'all should be like 8 or 9 and 1. That's what you should be. Because I said this cupcake schedule that you have before you get to some real competition. I'm not talking about the first 2 games because obviously the Bucs and the Chargers are legit. I'm talking about everybody else. All I'm saying is it's cool. It's cool. It hurts me because I don't get to troll y'all just yet. I gotta wait a little bit longer.
Don't slip that part in. Just spend some more time right there on that part. It hurts me. Just spend some time on that. It hurts me part. You went right past that. Just talk about that right there. Talk about that. What do you mean by it hurts me?
I'm going to tell you why it hurts me. I'm going to tell you why it hurts me. Because,
don't go by that.
Because there is, listen.
Get it out.
I was in Vegas at the hotel.
Yeah.
Dude walks up to me. I'm going to breakfast. Stephen A. Bang! I like, what was it? He's wearing Ezekiel Elliott jersey.
Yeah.
I see an old grandma.
It coming out. It coming out.
Nice.
No. I'm being very nice. I love my elders. I love my elders, and I respect them. But I'm just saying, Grandma, how about them Cowboys? Whispering it to me. You know what I'm saying? I had some dudes at a poker table. I don't play poker, but I had some dudes. I'm walking by the poker table. Come on over here, sit with us. Every single one of them had on a Cowboy jersey. And then I walked down to the other part of the casino, and it was a table. Every single one of them had on a Cowboy hat and boots. You couldn't make this up. This is in Vegas. This is in Vegas. And I'm sitting there like this.
They travel.
I can't escape. they're like cockroaches. No matter what's going on, they're going to come out.
Now,
you can't find them.
This isn't the week to puff your chest out. You know that. You know that was a cheap win. You know that.
Oh, my God. Listen, again, there's no such thing as a cheap win in the National Football League. This is a hard league where everybody gets paid to play. He's a great player across the board.
Go ahead.
Across the board.
Okay.
Go ahead,
across the board. Now, when we talk about best teams, Stephen, because you said one thing, you talked about you gave them a pass.
Who?
Who do you mean who? You gave the Bills a pass when you talk about their first game. Oh yeah, I give them a pass. But the Cowboys, who played excellent in their first game, after that was you just
they played
count them as nothing.
Offensively. I didn't think they played excellent defensively. I didn't think so.
They turned over Tom Brady.
So?
They turned over Tom Brady. Trevon Diggs turned over everybody. What we talking about? He turned over everybody. We just tripping on him. He turns over everybody. That's why that defense is so dangerous. Man, I'm telling you right here, right now, the Dallas Cowboys playing the best football in the National Football League.
But you know what?
It feels good.
I'm not upset that you said it. I love the fact that you listen to me. I love the fact that you blow V8 sticking out your chest, because that means Cowboy fans everywhere are going to do that. Y'all going to build up those expectations. And all that means is that the fall is going to be that much more dramatic. It's going to hurt that much. Y'all go ahead and y'all have y'all fun. I'll give you this. It won't be a miserable Thanksgiving.
But that climb
that we take you on,
that climb that we're going to take you on up the schedule, through the playoffs. Okay.
It's going to come. Let them talk, Molly. Their time is coming. You wait and see.
But let's give props to Trevon Diggs keeping that interception.
No, he's my defensive player of the year.
Alive, yeah.
He's my defensive player of the year.
They got
right
that
now.
thing right now, that connectivity thing that brings the team together.
That thing.
Those young boys did it.
But wait till he starts going against some real quarterbacks and he starts getting some.
Tom Brady ain't a real quarterback.
No, I'm not talking about one.
In just a bit on First Take, John Gruden in hot water over comments that have surfaced. Stephen A. and Michael's thoughts on that controversy shortly. Plus, the quarterback down the AFC is something to behold. Which one of these teams has proven they are the best team? We get into it.
One crispy Kentucky Fried Chicken sandwich for you, and a delicious crispy spicy one for whoever needs a little kick in the keister. Get the Kentucky Fried Chicken sandwich in classic or spicy for just $3.99. It's finger-licking good.
Oh, this world's a little crazy. Oh, you are mine.
Magic is calling you to the Walt Disney World 50th Anniversary Celebration.
So what came first, the grilled cheese or the burger?
So you know the burger had to come first. You go back hundreds of years. Oh, cheese has been around hundreds of years too.
Exactly. Okay.
Sonic grilled cheese double burger.
So
wow, this is a good debate.
What's up, y'all? It's Ice-T. Now, you never know what's going to go wrong with your car. It could be a transmission, could be the timing chain or that check engine light. Now, can I tell the future? Absolutely not. But I do know it's not a matter of if your car will break down, but when. And before that happens, you should call my friends at Car Shield. Their administrators pay for expensive car repairs, so you don't have to.
If it wasn't for Car Shield, I would have paid a lot of money out of pocket, and I would have been too happy. When I bought my used car, I didn't expect any problems right away. But when it broke down, I'm glad I had Car Shield.
So in 1 year, I saved $2,500. That's amazing.
I don't worry about car breakdowns because I have Car Shield.
Car Shield is like a guard dog protecting my wallet, which gives me real peace of mind when I drive. And you can take that to the bank.
Protect yourself now against expensive auto repair bills. Call 800-756-4221. 800-756-4221.
Here is the total estimate for your root canal and crown.
$2,400? I can't afford that.
You need to buy a dental savings plan like I have.
Susie Orman?
You bet. Look, whether you're going for cleanings, x-rays, braces, whatever, you are going to save money. Just go to dentalplans.com. I promise you, you will not regret it. Bottom line is this: I don't pay full price at the dentist, and neither should you.
Call 888-417-5788 and get $40 off any plan.
Are you ready for some foot?
Hey, voiceover guy. Football's back. Let's act like it.
You know what, Justin? You're right.
Are you ready to hang out and cook food in a parking lot again? Are you ready for 18 weeks of NFL action?
Ready.
I was born ready.
Yeah, baby. Are you ready for all the fans to come back and cheer as one?
Nearly 25 years ago, lawmakers passed comprehensive internet regulations. What happened after that? If the internet has come a long way, shouldn't internet regulations too?
Life is all about choices. You could put it in there, or get it repaired fast. You could handle with care, or get an expert on the case. You could set it aside, or come inside and let us get to work. So why go it alone? Visit your local U-Break iFix today for fast, easy repairs. Your tech fixed by Assurian.
Welcome back to First Take. John Gruden again said he is not a racist after his Las Vegas Raiders lost their first game since the revelation of the head coach's 2011 remarks about Players Union leader DeMaurice Smith. Gruden apologized for his insensitive remarks when asked about the decade-old emails following the Raiders' 20-9 loss to the Chicago Bears. Here's Gruden.
All I can say is I'm not a racist. I can't tell you how sick I am. I apologize again to D. Smith, but I feel good about who I am and what I've done my entire life. And I apologize for the insensitive remarks. I had I had no racial intentions with those remarks at all. But yes, they can. I'm not like that at all. But I apologize. I don't want to keep addressing it. I can't remember a lot of the things that transpired 10 or 12 years ago, but I stand here in front of everybody apologizing. I know I don't have an ounce of racism in me.
Okay, that was John Gruden. His former player, Keyshawn Johnson, addressing the incident earlier. Take a listen.
He's a bad person. I tried to tell people this when I played for this man, but I was in the wrong. Keyshawn just a spoiled brat. Oh, Keyshawn just a diva. Oh, Keyshawn just wants the football. But here we are now, however many years later, and stuff is coming to the surface. And now look what we're dealing with. We're dealing with some race insensitive behavior by a head coach who many thought didn't even deserve the opportunity to coach the Raiders. But guess what? He did. And now this is what we're dealing with. And you got to deal with that locker room. We saw yesterday on the football field what that locker room turned out to be, which is an L. You don't think that was heavy on them black players and some of them white players' mind? Hell yeah, it was.
Okay. A lot to unpack here. Stephen, I'll start with you. What do you think should happen to John Gruden?
Not a damn thing other than what's happening to him. he has to stand before black men, knowing what you said. It was racially insensitive. It was irresponsible. And there are people that are going to view him as a racist now. And he has to live with that. But as it pertains to what should happen to him, I want to emphasize this. He should not be fired, nor should he be suspended. He was not working for the NFL in 2011, a decade ago, when this email was when he wrote this email. I believe it was to Bruce Allen, who was running the Redskins at the time, and he was close with Bruce Allen from their days back in the day with the Raiders or whatever. But he was not with the NFL. He was working for us here at ESPN doing Monday Night Football. And so when you take that into consideration, the fact of the matter is that I don't believe that the NFL should have any jurisdiction to do anything with him based on an email that circulated from a decade ago. If that's the case, I got news for you. There's a whole bunch of people that's in a world of trouble. When we get to sit up there and reflect back on things that we said, or emails that we may have written from a decade ago or more, there's a whole bunch of people in this world that's going to be that's going to be in a world of trouble if that's the litmus test, or if that's the standard by which we get to decide whatever ramifications or repercussions need to come in somebody's way in terms of their job security and what have you. That is separate and apart from what I feel. I don't believe that John Gruden should be fired. I don't believe that he should be suspended. But I do believe that he deserves the black community and a whole bunch of white folks as well looking at him with a raised eyebrow like, who are you? What kind of person are you? And what would make you say what you said? And obviously they're gonna lean towards race. And for John Gruden, in case you don't understand, sir, let me explain to you why that is. When you pointed to DeMaurice Smith, the executive director of the the NFL Players Association, I'm sorry. First of all, you called them Dumb-Oris Smith, okay, in the email. Well, you questioning his intelligence. We could call DeMaurice Smith a lot of things. Dumb ain't one of them.
Right, he's intelligent.
Dumb ain't one of them. That brother's smart now, okay? So that's a stereotype that black men in leadership positions have been trying to fend off for the longest time. That's why the first order of business is to establish respect. Not love, not adulation. It's respect. Respect for my competence, my level of excellence, and what I bring to the table in doing what I do. That's number one. Then you go to the, lips like Michelin tires. Well, we all know what you're trying to connotate with that, because black people been dealing with that forever. Now you try to cover it up, which basically omits or just dissipates the substance of your apology. Why, John Gruden? Because when you said that, you said, well, I wasn't meaning anything racial by it. That's usually what I call people who are liars. Who the hell believes that? I mean, I'm wondering, that one statement that he made right there made me wonder, is he around? I had to remember he was a coach just to remind myself that he's been around black people. Because how in God's name could you possibly think that excuse would fly?
It's almost like the cover-up's worse than
the cover-up's worse than the crime. Okay, almost. Here's what I will say. John Gruden worked at this network. Every experience I had with him, the man couldn't have been nicer, couldn't have been kinder. And he loves football. You could talk football with him all day. So anybody that's looking for me to castigate this man's character overall, I'm not doing that. That's not the John Gruden that I saw, that I worked alongside as a colleague here. Okay, Mike Tirico said the same thing on NBC last night, because obviously he used to do Monday Night Football for us with John Gruden, and he would know. The great Tony Dungy. Accept his apology as his word. I can't ignore that either. Right. But I will say this. Keyshawn Johnson, his words are just as significant as both Mike Tirico and Tony Dungy in an opposite way. Because Keyshawn Johnson, played for this man, won a Super Bowl with this man. And more importantly, what Keyshawn told y'all today, Keyshawn told me for years. He has always felt that way about John Gruden. His words have been incredibly consistent. We just need to pay attention to the fact that at no time during Keyshawn's diatribe, at least according to the sound that I heard, did he say the man was a racist.
Right.
And because he didn't say that, and because that wasn't my experience, I'm going to say to you, I'm going to take John Gruden at his word because I've never seen anything otherwise from him. But what he said was irresponsible. It was hurtful. It connotated racist behavior. And I think his comeuppance is sitting and standing before black men, knowing everybody's looking at you with a raised eyebrow now, wondering what you really think about black people.
And Stephen, you guys talk about it, and honestly, it blows my mind that anyone, in the position that Coach Gruden has been in for a lot of years, spending that kind of time around African Americans, would think that it's okay to put that in an email and send it. God knows I've said some stupid things. I've said some crazy things to friends. You're out, you're having a good time, drink, whatever you said, you know what I mean?
All of us.
But none with an intent to harm in any way. None with an intent to harm. We just went through, and still dealing with, I'm not minimizing that, the social injustice in this country. And at the time, there were a lot of people coming out saying, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. And it was a joy to see them say it. But even when they were saying it, I was sitting here thinking, I hear what you're saying, but I want to check your footprints in the sand. What have you done? Like, I don't want you to just say something without looking at what you have done, or even after you say it, looking at what you're going to do. I want to see your footprints in the sand. What have you done? Are you just saying it? Because I don't want you just saying it to clear you if you haven't done anything about what you're saying, So first of all, him giving an apology, when I watched his apology, I appreciate him giving an apology. But what I did take kind of something to was him trying to end it. When you're the perpetrator, you can't end it. You can give an apology, and you can let the people that you offended heal, and then they say it's over. I don't want to answer any more questions about it. You can't end it that way. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. But John Gruden said something, and you said something. You said you talk to people who know, who has been time around them. Because when you are the perpetrator, you speak it for yourself. Your words carry no weight. So you have to go to the other people that are close with him and try to ascertain more things about him. So Coach Dungy, I'm with you. I give that. Coach Dungy, those guys are very credible, and they spend a lot of time with him. So I do believe and accept his apology. But I don't believe he should be fired. I don't believe he should be punished. But I do want to continue to check his footprints in the sand.
Exactly. And not only that, you might look for some other emails or search around and see what he said to other people to know what kind of person that you're dealing with in the future, moving forward. Because again, you're a black man, you roll up in front of John Gruden right now, you're going to look at him with a raised eyebrow. That's just the reality of the situation. Now let's get to a point, because it's very, very important that I bring this up, y'all. You brought up the whole social justice movement in the aftermath of George Floyd's killing and what have you. Molly, you've heard me say this before, but I'm going to say this with Michael Irvin right here. When I talked about him being killed and we talked about the protests that were taking place in the streets, I said it wasn't just about the knee on the neck for more than 9 minutes of George Floyd. Metaphorically speaking, that's how black people have felt coming out of the womb in terms of how we've felt about and treated by America. Why is that relevant when it comes to John Gruden? Let's go football. John Gruden wins the Super Bowl championship in 2002. He stays there coaching in Tampa Bay for the next 4 years. He makes the playoffs 2 times. That is it. John Gruden has now, I'm talking about in 6 years, 6 years after that, he goes to the playoffs 2 times, missed the playoffs 4. John Gruden has now coached in the NFL for the last 10 years. He has 2 playoff appearances, but he got a $100 million contract with bonuses that can elevate that salary to $118 or $120 million. For anybody that's wondering why the Las Vegas Raiders players themselves might be a bit reluctant to speak out about how they truly, truly feel, that might be the reason why, because John Gruden, for all intents and purposes, ain't going anywhere, but they might. And so you got to remember that, and that might have some trepidation, some hesitancy to be as open as they can possibly be. So I don't know how seriously we take his players and what they have to say, simply because of the compromising position that they're being. It's not casting any aspersions on them whatsoever. They're just not in a position of power. When you look at somebody like a John Gruden, Black America looks at stuff like that and they say, this is how they think about us. This is how they feel about us, which is why, for me, I'm a little bit different. When I see people on the air and they're getting emotional and they're all upset about John Gruden, we have a right to feel that way. Me personally, never phases me, because I think that they usually feel that way about us anyway. My point is that it's not every white person. I run across a lot of good white people, a lot of good white executives, to be quite honest with you, that are very fair-minded, all right, and go about the business of conducting themselves and would never do or say such a thing. But when you talk to your friends and you hear about their issues in the workplace and how executives talk about people and how they felt about people, even with the whole social justice movement, well, you know what, when we gonna get over this? I'm sick of this. You hear white executives say stuff like that, not realizing that black folks hear what's going on. My point is, when I heard what John Gruden said, and I realized how it was connotated, how it was received by folks in the black community, all I thought about was, I'm not surprised in the slightest. It's just the latest of what we always have to deal with. No matter how you smile in our face, behind our back, not all, not most, but far too many in positions of power and influence, this is how they truly feel. And that's why I don't let it break me, because it ain't breaking me. I just expect it. And you have to prove to me that you are otherwise.
And I respect that opinion. Can I just say one thing that I think is ironic?
Yeah.
When the mention of physical features, do you know how many people are running to the doctor's office to get physical features?
Yes. It's called what it is, lip implants.
Yes,
there's a whole bunch of people doing
black women, but and all of it, and all different, and all different physical features. I don't want to go into detail, but don't tell me black's not beautiful. We'll leave it right there. Still to come on First Take, Stephen A. and Michael are asked who they see coming out of the absolutely loaded NFC. Kyler's Cards, Dallas and Dak, Brady and the Cowboys. Only one can win. Plus, Josh Allen and the Bills look like they're no joke, or perhaps Mahomes and company may have lost something. Stephen A. on Casey's chances. Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, Dak, Brady. Who's the best quarterback in the league right now? Buckle up for that debate. And are the fellas less confident in the Packers after their narrow win to Joe Burrow and the Bengals? We get into that wild one in Cincy. Plus, Alabama falling, Stephen A., the greatest fight in recent memory. Fury Wilder 3. Are the Raiders done? And what coach was crying post-game and why? Keep it locked. Fresh hour of First Take on the way. Last night, the Bills beat down the Chiefs 38-20 in an AFC title game rematch. Josh Allen threw for 315 yards and 3 touchdowns and ran for a fourth, while Patrick Mahomes finished with 272 and 2 touchdowns to go with 2 interceptions and a lost fumble. After the game, Andy Reid talked about what went wrong.
I didn't see this coming, and I not tonight. This game tonight, I came in thinking we had a chance to win the game, and we didn't handle ourselves the right way. And so that's my responsibility, and to get that right.
Ryan Clark joining us. RC, what's the good word?
Well, the good word is I'm about to be 42 tomorrow. I'm excited to join you guys. I wish I was getting some of that LA weather, though.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, my brother.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, my brother. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I appreciate the way you represent Libra Nation. Way to go.
Oh, my goodness.
You know how we do.
I love that you know your zodiac sign. I would never picture that with you.
I mean, of course, Brick knows his zodiac sign.
Oh, my goodness. RC, I'll start with you. Can the Chiefs return to a third straight Super Bowl, or do you have question marks after what you're seeing?
Absolutely not. I don't even have question marks. The Chiefs, as constructed right now, cannot return to a third Super Bowl. And when you look at this team, they just can't play defense. Think about the way Josh Allen was running the football early on in this football game. Even the called runs by Coach Daboll, their offensive coordinator. You know why? It's because they knew that no one was going to be physical enough on that defense to hurt their franchise quarterback. This team has totally been dominated defensively this entire year. And what have we always seen from the Kansas City Chiefs? No matter how they played defensively, no matter how much they got down, that Patrick Mahomes and this offense could find ways to score points and get this team back in the game. Well, guess what? Patrick Mahomes can't do that anymore. And also, there's not this large gap between Patrick Mahomes and the rest of the quarterbacks. And that's if you're talking about Tom Brady, if you're talking about Aaron Rodgers, if you're talking about Josh Allen, you're talking about Justin Herbert. This team is in trouble right now, guys. If they don't find ways, Chris Jones, who ended up getting injured, if they don't find ways to make Chris Jones active, if Tyrann Mathieu isn't making plays on the back end, they can't get a stop. And so this Kansas City Chiefs team right now is a team that we might not see in the AFC Championship, but we might not see them in the playoffs. They better be happy that there are 7 spots right now each year in each division.
RC, man, now listen, are you saying that the greatest young quarterback that we have in this game, and it's an offensive game, it's an offensive game right now, cannot get this team to a Super Bowl with the talent he has around him? Now, listen to what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
Who's the number 3, Mike?
What are you saying?
Who's the number 3? All right, so we got Tyreek Hill, you got Travis Kelce. Right, think about the Dallas Cowboys, right? How they could go CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, even Cedric Wilson, Gallup when he's healthy, Schultz in the red zone. The Kansas City Chiefs don't have that right now, Mike. And defensively, they are trash. Like, not bad, absolute hot garbage. You can't win in the AFC like that.
And they're obviously looking for that number 3, if you want to call it that. That's why they brought in Josh Gordon, hopefully to get him to help make some plays. But when you have this kind of explosion on offense, right now, teams are playing deep and stopping the Kansas City Chiefs offense. That's not going to happen all year. That's not going to, trust me, that's not going to happen all year. Every team is not going to go up and down the field on the Chiefs defense. Trust me, that's not going to happen every year. They play. What are you saying? They play Washington next. You think Washington's offense going to go up and down? So as they start getting into some of these other games, and the teams they have played, they've had a tough schedule. I guarantee you, what are you raising your hand for like we in class?
According to you, I'm supposed to be a student because you're supposed to be the teacher, right?
What's wrong with
me raising my hand?
So you got to raise your hand.
My question to you is this. Who the hell should trust you? You've been talking smack for years and you were wrong. Been coming up short for years and you were wrong. Waving pom-poms for years and you were wrong. Why the hell should we trust you?
Don't trust
you
me.
of all people.
Don't trust me.
Why?
Because it's not the Cowboys.
Trust the resume. I'm just telling you, trust what I'm saying, but trust the resume that Patrick Mahomes has laid down before you. Trust the resume that Tyreek Hill has laid down before you. Trust the resume of Andy Reid and Travis Kelce.
What about the resume there? Hold on, RC. You can piggyback off me because you know you can cover me with this one, bro. Here's the deal. You saw the Super Bowl last year, didn't you? Did you see the Super Bowl last year?
I saw the Super Bowl last year.
Let me finish. Who was Tom Brady picking on and talking smack to in the football?
Thank you for bringing this up.
Because let me tell you something. I recall it being Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. And so what I'm saying is this. This is the guy that we were, I'm not trying to knock. I love the Honey Badger, and I believe in him. As a matter of fact, he's one of the few people I believe in on that defense. But the bottom line is we saw a legend pick him apart. Last time I checked, football's about the tape. It's about going to the videotape. It's about reviewing what's transpired and why it transpired the way that it did and making sure to emulate successful habits and eradicate bad ones. And what I'm saying to you is this. When you look at the Kansas City Chiefs right now, their defense has been hot garbage since the Super Bowl. They got so pimp slapped, okay, that these dudes ended up showing up this season and they look just as bad as they did in the Super Bowl.
Giving up 4th down conversions, giving up 4th down.
Ryan.
versions, all of that. They look like they look soft.
Well, how about slap?
But you gave me a revelatory gift.
FCC
You gave me a
Airways, okay?
revelatory gift that I want to get to. Ryan, you guys tell me you want to drop. Yes, I'll explain that in a second. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey, I don't even know what that is. That must be some stuff that Jerry Jones give out on his yacht.
It's the gift of revelation when he said it.
No,
it was a gift of revelation when he said it, when he dropped it on me, when he talked about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in last year, because they started kind of like the Chiefs started
I said the
this year.
Super Bowl.
Right. You talked about the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and playing Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I'm telling you, that gave me the gift to go back. Tampa Bay started like this last year. And everybody said, oh, my God, I don't know.
False. Wrong. They did not start like this. Their offense was struggling early, not their defense. That is not true.
But it's still, they started poorly record-wise. They started poorly record-wise. Yes, Ryan.
trying to talk to you.
Hey, time out though. Right now, you acting like you got Nelly and Adam Sandler as your quarterback. Stop it. What you are saying is not making any sense, right? Because it's not what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were a team that had never played together. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were a team that didn't have an offseason. This is the Kansas City Chiefs. This is the same Patrick Mahomes, the same Andy Reid, the same Travis Kelce that we've always seen. But it doesn't matter. Steve Spagnuolo doesn't have this defense making plays, right? They're not turning the football over. They can't pressure the quarterback. Where are we going to find the one trait that makes us feel like this defense can actually do something well, right? If it's not Tyrann Mathieu making plays against the Baltimore Ravens, what we saw early in the season in his first game off of the COVID list, they haven't made plays the entire year. This team has been totally sold out by their defense, and Patrick Mahomes can no longer bail them out. So unless Pat goes on one of these MVP streaks, we're in trouble. We are in trouble in Kansas City.
In this one sense that defense, though it's not playing great, if the defense can just start getting some turnovers like they did a couple of years ago, if they could just start but see, that's a possibility of happening. And you know what Patrick Mahomes can be. That's why you cannot count out Kansas City.
Well,
I don't understand how you guys count them out.
I'm looking at the rest of the AFC. I'm looking at Buffalo. I'm looking at Cleveland. I'm looking at Baltimore. I'm looking at the Chargers.
All they got to do is get in.
Hey, Molly, here's a good thing, Molly.
Extra game in.
You can tell. You can tell that for the last quarter century, Michael Irvin has been supporting the Cowboys because he's super optimistic, right? He's learned how to be in the face of knowing that your team's not going to win anything. He's learned to be optimistic, and this is why he's great on first take.
On the football field, we got Andy Reid coaching, and you have Tyreek Hill. You got what you need. I understand it ain't going great right now, but you got what you need, and you got it on offense. You got a system that works. That defense can start getting some turnovers, and things can change just like that.
They ain't doing anything because of their defense. We ain't talking about their offense.
I know that's what you're saying.
Their defense is trash.
And the offense can be so explosive at times that can cover that. They just have to figure that out.
Today, Stephen A. Trash. Okay.
It's horrible. Trust me, man. I can't believe Patrick Mahomes. Oh, my God. But Aaron Rodgers, bad, man. He always got a shot.
He's a bad man.
All right, come on.
And Green Bay's defense ain't as bad as Kansas City's.
We'll get into that.
I'm sorry. Kansas City works defense.
Excuse me. We're going to get there. Let's save it. Okay. Ryan, always good to see you. Happy birthday. Hope it's great.
Birthday.
Hey, Ryan, tell your family like I tell mine when it's my birthday. Please don't buy me any gifts with my money. Just don't worry about it. Just say happy birthday and keep it moving. Please don't buy me any gifts with my money.
I got to remember that myself.
They come to you, ask you, get some money to get your gift. No, don't worry about it.
Oh, my goodness. So true. Still to come, how about them Cowboys? We know Michael's answer, but is it time for Stephen A. to admit? Let's do this. The Cardinals defense dominated in their 70-10 win over the Niners. They improved to 5-0 for the first time since '74. Kyler Murray completed 22 of 31 passes for 239 yards. Hopkins caught 6 passes for 87 yards and a TD. Tommy Brady and the Bucs put a good old-fashioned beatdown on the Dolphins, 45-17. Brady spread the ball around, thrown for 411 yards, 5 TDs. Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, right? Each had over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. And sticking with the NFC, how about them Cowboys? They made easy work of my Giants. I still say it's a cheap win, Michael, on Sunday's 44-20 win. Dallas now has they played the second team, Michael. Dallas now has 4 straight wins after losing the first game of the season to the Bucs, missing 7 of their 11 offensive starters. But, Michael, you tell me this. Who is your favorite, sir, to win the NFC.
Yeah.
Now, and this is always a discussion because we talk who's the best team, who's the favorite to win NFC.
Yeah.
I do believe when you start talking about going through the playoffs that you got to start considering that playoff experience and who has played like that, who's come through in the clutch all the time. And Tom Brady has certainly all the time come through in the clutch. So I would have the Bucs there because of that, and you're seeing what he's doing right now with Tom Brady. Oh my God, the way he played yesterday was incredible. The man had 144 passer rating. I don't even know how high passer ratings go, but I don't think they go much higher than 144. You know, coming off of what happened in New England. Tom Brady's playing well.
Yeah.
But boy, them Cowboys right there too. See, the Bucs. I gotta have the Bucs up here because of Tomlin's pedigree. But the Cowboys, oh my God! I just talked about why I have the Cowboys here as the most balanced team out there in the National Football League, offense and defense. I got the Cowboys too. I like what I'm seeing out of the Cardinals. I like what I'm seeing. I got them in their third, right behind the Bucs and the Cowboys.
Oh,
what
my
you looking
God.
like that for, man?
You got to be kidding me.
What you looking like that
all
for,
of this
man?
talking you've been doing about the Cowboys and hold on. Hold on. All of this talking you've been doing about the Cowboys and they ain't even your favorites in the NFC right now.
No, you snuck it in.
No,
You
oh my God. With the two discussions here, that was the best team in the NFL right now in NFC favorites. There were two discussions. Best team right now who's playing NFC favorites. Who has to go through a playoff? I got to count in experience. Come on, man. I got to bring that into the account here.
Are you blessing us with the gospel now? Like you playing the piano? The gospel? Really? Get out of here, man. That's nonsense. Oh, please, just be quiet. You got an opportunity right here on national television to sit up there and say that the Cowboys are favored. Oh, no. I'm just talking about right now. Handshaking and all that.
I cannot exclude Tom Brady.
When you play the organ? Is that what you're trying to do? Oh, please.
I cannot exclude Tom Brady and what he has done.
Excuse me. All the talk you've been talking, oh, man, look at Dak Prescott and the weight play.
Right.
And we got not one, but two dudes at the running back spot, Stephen A. We got sit up there, Amari Cooper. We got CeeDee Lamb, Wilson can ball. Gallup ain't even been in the lineup. He'll be back. Excuse me, you said all of that. And then you talk about Trayvon Diggs. Look at that, brother, the other Diggs. All right.
And we ain't talking enough about Diggs today.
All I'm trying to say to you is this. You talking all of that stuff, and you can't even pick the Cowboys as your favorites in the NFC? They 4-1. Really? Nonsense. Because you know. Because you know what's going to happen. First of all, let me tell you something right now. You want to talk about week 5? That's fine. I ain't talking about week 5. We talk about favorites in the NFC. I'm going to tell you who I got. I got Arizona. I got Tampa Bay. Matter of fact, I'll put Tampa Bay first and then Arizona, even though Arizona's undefeated. I'll damn sure put them before the Cowboys. I'll damn sure put them before the Cowboys. Excuse me, because of Kyler Murray, because of DeAndre Hopkins, because of AJ Green.
Because Christian Kirk. Why you got Tampa first?
Because to me, I never deviated from Tom Brady. I never deviated from Tom Brady. You are. So hold on, wait a minute. I got Aaron Rodgers, because let me tell you something right now. Aaron Rodgers, that bad man that he is, be very, very clear. When you got an experienced quarterback and you got something to worry about, we'll see what Trayvon Diggs and the secondary and the crew in Dallas defense. We'll see what they do.
He's setting it up. Give me your order.
He's setting it up. He's setting it up.
Tampa Bay.
He's setting it up so right.
Okay.
This is NFC favorites, right?
Yeah, let's go.
I got Tampa Bay.
Okay.
I got Arizona.
Okay.
I got Green Bay.
Okay.
Before I even get to the Cowboys.
What about the Rams?
Before I even get to the Cowboys.
Come on.
Excuse me. I don't like the way the Rams
Cincinnati
defense
just
has looked.
The Packers.
The Rams defense. So what? It's one game. You just said it's one game. Did you just say it was one game?
Cincinnati took the Packers. I'm just saying, what do you think the Cowboys are going to do to the Packers?
It was one game.
If Cincy did that to them, what do you think they're going to do?
Cincy did what? Cincy did what?
Come on, man.
We're getting into that.
Let me give you this, and let me tell you why. I put Tampa first.
Why?
But now what I'm watching, as I'm telling you, man, because when I'm not putting out a single game, I'm watching the progress of each team through the season. And right now, I'll still leave Tampa there because of Tom Brady, but because of how Cowboys played them in the first game, the game you want to throw out for every other team. The Cowboys stood up and showed up and played them to.
Well, why don't you why don't you call the Cowboys the favorite then? Why don't you call them the favorite then? Why not? Because their defense is definitely
it don't matter who starts out winning the race. Didn't we not learn last year from Tom Brady and the Bucs that it doesn't matter who starts out winning the race, Rabbit? You just gotta finish the race. You gotta finish the race. And the Cowboys is how well you finish, and they are they're moving great.
I like this. I like this.
For real.
I like
that's how you got to see it.
Right now,
this is how you got to see it.
He's separating himself.
You have to see if you can build the champion.
Tricks are for kids. Yes,
right.
He's making it. He's
separating
himself from the Cowboy fan base.
Hopping all around.
I'm not separating myself from the Cowboy fan base.
We need to talk about Aaron Rodgers. You brought it up.
We'll beat Tampa. We'll beat Tampa next time we see him.
He's still that bad man, but Green Bay eking it out by Cincy. Are the fellas less confident in the Packers now?
I told you we going to see him again.
He ain't going to see him again.
What we do.
He see him, he'll be
one of the craziest games of the season. Mason Crosby missed 3 straight potential winning field goal attempts, which he never does, before hitting a 49-yarder in overtime to lift Green Bay over Cincinnati. The game saw 5 missed field goals before the Packers finally won. Stephen A., tell me this. Because Cincy took them to the brink, ultimately, obviously, the Packers winning, are you more or less confident in Green Bay now?
Oh, I'm not less confident in Green Bay at all. These are things that happen over the course of a regular season. I mean, I'm not concerned about them. If the defense had given up 40 or 50 points, it would be different. But that's not what transpired yesterday.
That happened during the course of the season.
This is Aaron Rodgers. Hold on, this is Aaron Rodgers we talking about.
Yeah.
Let me tell you,
so why did it come down to field goals if it's Aaron Rodgers?
Because it's one afternoon on Sunday, any given Sunday, baby. The 6 inches in front of your face. Okay, that's Al Pacino says it. Okay, any given Sunday. These are the kind of things that happen. Time out. I can say that is applicable to an Aaron Rodgers more so than it's applicable to a Dak Prescott or somebody along those, or Baker Mayfield. This is Aaron freaking Rodgers we're talking about. He's a bad man, okay? So guess what? You put him in position, personally speaking, I would have preferred more trips to the end zone than you put Mason Crosby in a position to miss 3 damn field goals, which he never does. But in the end, I'm not concerned about Green Bay. I want to take a moment to give the Cincinnati Bengals some props. They've been competitive. I like what I'm seeing from Joe Burrow. Thank God he didn't get injured because he took a nasty fall yesterday, and I thought he was going to end up injured, but ultimately he got up. Jamar Chase is a stud.
Wow.
Let's be real about him.
Wow.
This brother's a stud. Reminds me of you, playmaker. Reminds me of you a little bit.
I wish God gave me that kind of speed.
You don't have that. You didn't have that kind of speed.
Boy, God ain't love me that much.
Don't say that.
That's
Jamar Chase. That's a bad brother right there. And Burrow is something special himself. I like what I'm seeing from Cincinnati. I think they're a credible, respectable team on the come up. Let's give Coach Zach Taylor some props. He seems to be doing a good job with them, and I like what I'm seeing from them. But they don't have Aaron Rodgers, okay? And so what happens is that when you've got an Aaron Rodgers, so what? It's one game. They struggled on this particular Sunday afternoon. Probably took it for granted. Didn't really want to be there to begin with, but ended up being in Cincinnati, a few miles from Louisville and all of that stuff. I say, all right, okay, we got to be here. We might as well play. This is what it is. It's just one of those games. But I look at Green Bay. I look at Aaron Jones. I look at Devontae Adams. I see what that Aaron Rodgers leads the way. The defense is not as poor as Kansas City. The defense is not Kansas City's. I'm sorry. I'm not losing any faith in Green Bay.
Right, and you got a shot with those two dudes right there that they are playing. I just told you the teams are going to make you use your left hand. But Aaron Rodgers can find other ways and win football games. That's why I like their chances still at having an opportunity. Let me tell you something. Cincinnati was impressive. That's impressive what has happened with Cincinnati. You got to say what you were. The way that game went down, just that field goal. Oh, my God, that was insane.
That damn field goal kicker messed it up. You're going to hit the flag instead of...
Oh, my God. and thought he hit it. And this was the funny part. This was the funny part. Like in the after interviews, you see the coach and Aaron Rodgers. We had plenty of faith in him. We knew he could hit it. We knew he could hit it. But they went and asked, you think you can do this?
That's right.
Well, if you man plenty of faith. Why you ask the man?
Right.
Why do you just say go kick it?
You
know
whether or not he lost his confidence.
Right.
He was having a bad day.
So you
he was having a bad day.
Right.
Listen. This is what you ask from time to time. Now, everybody, I mean, some people, listen, they ain't as bad as UConn and UMass. You remember they were playing, I mean, their college football teams. They're the worst in the country.
Oh,
I mean,
good one.
They're not as bad as
Good one. Maybe I should become an Alabama fan or USC or
Why you throwing that out?
It's just one thing you should. You might when you try it. It'll do a lot for the confidence.
Whatever.
It'll do a lot for the confidence, Molly.
And this man's all hyped to beat up the second team of Giants. I mean, get out of here. Both of you.
That's not the second team.
And you're trying to act like the Packers are so good, but you have them fourth in the NFC. So relax. Okay?
With Aaron Rodgers
I thought he's that bad
and
man.
Devontae
The
Adams.
Giants look good. The Giants were in with the Cowboys until everybody went down on the team.
I know it. Don't worry.
It was like one guy after the next episode. You talk to me when everyone gets knocked out. You have no receiving core. You have no quarterback. You don't have Saquon Barkley.
It's hard week. It's a hard week for you, Molly. We understand. We understand. It's been a hard week.
We understand, Molly.
It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right.
This isn't fun anymore. I want to go.
Don't let him mess with you. I ain't playing with you.
Sorry, Molly.
Don't let him mess with you, Molly.
I'm trying to bring up UConn.
I'm helping Molly.
I'm trying to bring up UConn. My bad.
Okay, you know what? You know what?
Worst team in America.
I'll talk to you basketball season. We're going to hang a banner.
Don't let him do it.
Yeah, we are. Okay, I'll talk to you then.
Don't let him do it, Molly.
All right.
Oh, my
Check
God.
yourself with that cough. Corona's going around.
No, I ain't got the corona.
I ain't got the corona. Take superstar after. Roll the bump, everyone. Just roll the bump. I don't want to see them on camera or my
She all
Don't let him